Each and every First Friday, Soul Rebel Productions present to you First Friday Caribbean style, the sexiest Caribbean party in H-Town, Uptown Hookah Bar, 5706 Richmond. Log on to soulrebelproductions.com for details.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Just Reasoning.
Yes.
This segment we have a special guest, Mr. Sylvanus Danai, who considers himself to be a Virgin Islander and a St. Lucian. Very highly educated and world traveled. 2 bachelor degrees and 3 master's degrees. Wow. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. But currently he is the publisher of the One Love Caribbean, which is the only monthly, completely dedicated Caribbean magazine in Houston.
Yes, right.
Right now. So let's give a round of applause to Mr. Sylvanus.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, as I said last, that you are the publisher of the One Love Caribbean
Yes, I am.
magazine. What inspired you to create that magazine?
Well, upon coming into Houston about 4 years ago, I tried to find out what's going on in the Caribbean community, and there was no kind of outlet for that. So why not? I started the paper, and I've been very receptive among the Caribbean and the Black American community here in Houston and around Texas and in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think I mentioned you were a world traveler, so you have a lot to bring to the magazine. So tell us a little bit about One Love. What does it incorporate? What does it include?
Well, my primary goal with One Love is to focus on what's happening in the Caribbean community here in Houston. However, many of us from the Caribbean are quite interested in what's going on back home, and I want to bring that to the people here in Houston. Of course, I have a lot of dedicated people who work every month to incorporate various articles to make that paper successful. So to them, a lot of the blessings and the glory goes to them.
I have a question. So, what do you think that the Houston, so you've been here for about 4 years now in Houston?
Yeah, about 4 years.
What do you believe the Houston Caribbean community is lacking or needs to do a better job of, just generally speaking?
Well, the dynamics within Houston itself, it is so large that we are all spread out. So we had to have something to kind of bring us together. Yeah. And that's where the paper came in. The dynamic says that it's so spread out. So you need a lot of something that was able to link all the Caribbean people together. And I think that's where the newspaper came in and doing that. But there's a lot much more that we need here. Such as we need to, a lot of our people, we need a lot of education for them, whether it's, because especially a lot of our older folks here in the Caribbean community are becoming unemployed because of technology. Mm-hmm. We need to find somehow to assist them in that area, keep them up to date with the technologies. Being in the St. Lucian community, especially, what we have is a lot of our older folks who work in the refineries now are finding out that the technology in the refineries, they're not able to work. So we need somehow to update education. We also need somehow a center point where all of us could meet. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a marketplace, a Saturday market, yeah, something like that, you know, where all would more than likely come into. If you go in all the major cities around the United States where you have a mass amount of Caribbean people, you always find on a Saturday, you could almost go a certain place and you'll find them.
Cool Runnings.
You don't have this over here. So it's Cool Running is coming to that point, you know. So we do need some of that in here, whether it's a building, an outdoor place, something that we all could come together and learn from, you know.
Now, as you talk about education, I heard a statistic on Jamaican radio yesterday that says that 80% of university graduates in Jamaica, 80%
don't have a job.
No, end up leaving the island, end up migrating up here like us, Canada, UK, whatever. So when you think about all that investment that goes in somebody from basic school, primary school, and then you get education, you have all the talent in the world, but nothing going on for you there, so you have to leave. So, I mean, it's a natural thing. You have to do what you have to do. So I guess my question is, since that is a natural thing, and I don't know what those statistics are for other islands, what do you believe the responsibility is for those of us who have left our homelands for whatever reason? What responsibility do we have for our homelands? What do we need to do to try and make things better?
Western Union.
Besides remittances.
I see the other way around though, because last year I had an opportunity. I went to St. Lucia, and I came back and I wrote a story. Why are we even thinking of moving here to the United States? Because I personally saw where there's so many opportunities that could derive from just being in St. Lucia. I see the same thing for the Virgin Islands also. There's so many opportunities. However, the point is, we always believe that the grass is green on the other side. And because we have the ability and the opportunity to move somewhere else, we always take that easier path to travel, which it gives us the less resistance. When you move here, you come to find out, you know, you have the same set of problems that you had back there. The jobs are not easy to come by. You need certain qualifications. You need certain training. But the same problems that you have over there.
Do you think that the 80%, for example, the Jamaica 80%, do you think they have a responsibility to kind of reach back and do something for the ones back home, or is it just like, okay, I'm out, see you later, have fun?
Well, it's always somehow, if you're outside, there should always be some mechanism that you could always link back to your homeland. And whether it's help some way to help the folks back there. But you know,
But how do you help? Because like right now, the only thing I know is like Western Union, MoneyGram, send money back when they get a phone.
Well, books,
what else?
Books, education. I would say that's a good way to start.
I mean, my opinion, some things that can be done. Western Union, you have your family back there. You send people money for your family and whatever. That's all good. But I think there needs to be more organized efforts up here to, for example, encourage entrepreneurship back home. And so if 100 people up here can put together a grand apiece or something like that, have some kind of fund where, if a man in Spaldings or whoever wants to start some sort of business, as, professionalism about him, he can come to this, diaspora fund or whatever we want to call it. It's things like that in a more organized approach. There needs to be a more organized approach towards helping out back home.
Well, I have one final question because we're about to head to break very shortly. Do you think, I know you mentioned earlier that one of the purposes for you creating the magazine was to kind of mesh the community together, to bring awareness and, to really hit all target audience, the Caribbean community holistically. Do you think that your goal has come into fruition? Do you think that you've met your goal, or is that forever an accomplishing thing for you?
I don't know about forever, but yes, it's been very fulfilling. I think the community has accepted the people with open arms, and I continue to support the people. Without the support of the people, without the support, that people will be gone. So yes, I have to say it's the community. It's doing something to the community.
Well, I would like to commend you in your efforts and really trying to build the community and really unify. Give him a round of applause. I think it takes a great effort. We're actually not going to go to break. We have our final topic, and you're going to sit in on it. So we would love to get your opinion.
It's not about bleaching.
It's not about
No bleaching, no bleach buns.
You're sitting on the bleaching side of the panel. Hope you know that.
Oh,
Cake soap. Cake soap.
Anyway, let's bring it back to the U.S. We have 2.5 years of Barack Obama, first African-American president in the history of the United States.
Yep, major.
Few questions. Has there been enough hope and change for you? So I'm going to go around and you can just kind of give your opinion. Blade.
No, we'll start from that side.
No, go on.
Blade.
Go on.
Blade.
For me,
For you.
I'm gonna just give one sentence now, but reserve the right to come back.
You think you can? Just one sentence only?
Yeah, one
That's it?
sentence. I don't think enough has been accomplished. I think he has a lot that he intended on doing, but not enough was accomplished.
Okay. Mr. Sylvanus?
I want to go in this way.
No, we're going that way. Clockwise.
Clockwise.
That's clockwise.
Counterclockwise.
I think Barack is doing the best a job as he's capable of doing. He reminds me of being a black person, the only black person in an all-white establishment, where you are constantly being undervalued, underestimated, and marginalized. And you always consistently have to fight against that. So you not only have to get a project going or get what needs to be done, but you also have to continuously fight the establishment because of just being a black person.
Okay. Has Obama met your expectations? Chris?
Well, all right. Why are you laughing? I'll say, so 2.5 years in order to really judge how effective, in order to judge, where you are, you have to look at where you're coming from. You have to look at that. So let me just throw out a few things, like from an economic standpoint. You look at end of Bush administration to right now. December 2008, on a monthly basis, 800,000 jobs were being lost every month. 800,000. December 2008. Now you look at last month, we're at the point where we're creating 200,000 jobs a month. So you cannot look at a difference in job, which is 1 million, from 800,000 lost to 200,000 gain, and say there has not been change. A lot of different things, the stock market, has gone up 40% since then, a lot of different things from the economy. I mean, are we where we want to be? No. But, if you have to look at the hole you're coming out of to make an accurate judgment. But, I think, with such a transformational presidency, a lot of people, when they talk about change, they somehow expected everything to change. And people kind of put their own hopes and dreams, their own expectations, regardless of what he said he was going to do, right? People had their view that this is what's going to be done. So my overall point is you have to look at where you're coming from to really measure how effective you are
So
where you are
yes?
today.
Is that a yes or no?
He's doing.
No,
It's
it's a yes. It's a yes.
He's doing the best he can.
A hell
with
of a
what
lot
he has
has
to work
changed.
with.
I mean, I can have
I'm
a
not
whole
saying
paper full of.
I'm not saying that change hasn't taken place. I'm not saying that there isn't a lot of positives that come out of it. But she's saying overall, within the last 2.5 years, did I expect more? Yes.
What did you expect that you haven't got?
All right. what he has done as far as for my demographic, which we are right here, for the Caribbean people, things that we need, you know, i.e. immigration changes to, you know.
2.5 years. Only so much can be done.
You
in 2.5 years.
inherited Congress and Senate.
It's still 100
And
senators, 435
No.
representative members with different opinions.
Well, on
Yes,
that note,
but I'm saying you went into a job with the full backing of both person.
No, you didn't.
on
That's the point.
that note, what I will need you guys to do
Can't
is
cut
email
that
each
off,
other.
man.
I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah, cut that off.
I have to cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, but
We're on a
discipline the boy,
timeline.
man.
Anyway, this concludes our segment of Talk to Teens. Did I say it correctly?
Talk to teens.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, this concludes our segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to conclude the show again. Thank you, Mr. Sylvanus, for joining us.
Thank you.
Again. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you. We'll be right
Each and every First Friday, Soul Rebel Productions present to you First Friday Caribbean Style, the sexiest Caribbean party in H-Town, Uptown Hookah Bar, 5706 Richmond. Log on to soulrebelproductions.com for details.